My name is Ryan Broderick. Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you guys for coming. So, we are talking about Halloween. We're talking about scary things. And I wanted to talk about the scariest place of all, which is the 4Chan cooking board. Do you guys know about this? So you probably know 4Chan. It's an anonymous message board. It is a bad place. It is a very radicalized place. It is also a place where people share food recipes. This is true. There is a section of the site called CK, and this is a quote from a Tumblr user from 2017 about it. CK is the natural habitat of the least potent, most empty people surviving in society. You cannot make a thread like this and identify with your environment enough to enthusiastically share it like this without being, in some sense, already dead. So this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about. So if you've never been there, this is where all the porn is. But over here, oh, and this is like where all the racism is. But over here is the cooking community. So this was a recent post. I was like, I wonder what the site's like these days. I haven't been on there in a while. And this is, what's the verdict on these? And then it's just a bunch of people being very angry about Laura bars. So that's kind of a good idea of what this community is like. So it is a place where people share recipes. Here are two interesting recipes. Oh, but I gotta tell you, the whole thing is like this. We've got like 5 more minutes, and this is the least bad it gets. So this is, well, what is that? And then that is a Pepto-Bismol hot dog. So what I think is really interesting from a web culture academic standpoint is that the race to the bottom culture of 4chan is also present here, but it's with food. So what happens here is I've got 1 kilogram of raw pork neck. What can I do with it? You can make some stew and goulash out of it. You can make some stew and goulash out of it. You can make some stew and goulash out of it. You can make some stew and goulash out of it. You can make some. So you get the idea, right? Like this is kind of what the website is like. Well, that was a note for me for later. So I wanted to show you guys some recipes that I think is interesting. So this is my cookbook from 4Chan's cooking board. Okay, so. This is called Gatorade Broccoli, and the ingredients are Gatorade and cauliflower, and the method is that you boil a bunch of cauliflower in Gatorade. So let's dive in, shall we? So Store is out of broccoli, and that's not cauliflower. I don't know what that is. And then he puts some Gatorade in a pan, and then he boils the Gatorade, and then the top comment is, I like where this is going. And then he puts the cauliflower in the Gatorade. Oh, fuck, don't do it. Then he boils it. Perfect. And then there's just a bunch of horrified reactions. We are watching creation itself. This is how God created broccoli. So, like I said, this is going to get progressively worse, okay? So our next recipe is called Sweet Sunday Ramen. And it is the most demented, it's very demented. Okay, so the ingredients are ramen, peppermint flavoring, caramel, fudge, Pop-Tart chunks, pudding, blue raspberry frosting, and a bunch of other disgusting shit. And the way you make it is by you put it in a bowl and you microwave it. This is one of the photos. This is one of the more tame photos of this. So, hello, CK. I see there's a lot of different recipes for ramen on here. There's a lot of chefs and other stuff. I'm not a professional chef. I like to share my recipe. It's called Sweet Sunday Ramen. I'm on the edge of my seat. So he lists out all the ingredients. I'm here, you disgusting excuse for a human. And then he proceeds to put in the food coloring. He puts in all of the icing and the caramel. Yeah, so this is a good example of, so this is gonna be a common thing, is pig disgusting is a term they use a lot. And it is very accurate, actually. And that's what it looks like. This is Sweet Sunday Ramen. Now, I know what you're saying. That's horrifying. But if you think about it for just a second, it is just noodles and frosting, so it's kind of okay. This, however, is not okay. This is this is bad. This is really bad, guys. So the ingredients are NyQuil, NyQuil, chicken, and whiskey, and it's called Sleepy Time Chicken. And Sleepy Time Chicken, the way you make that is by boiling a bunch of chicken in NyQuil. So let's get into it. So you take, hey guys, you want to see my Sleepy Time Chicken? Is this the fucking ramen Sunday thread? First 2 ingredients are NyQuil and chicken. I swear to God, I dreamed this thread last night. That's interesting. You better not throw out the broth when you're done. Make part 2 where you make soup out of it. Why have you done this? Once again, pig fucking disgusting. Dude, you are going to die. And yeah, of course, presentation is key. And then I think, so I went into this thread to like actually see what happened here, and I think he put a second kind of NyQuil on top of the Sleepy Time chicken. I think that's what the red stuff is, but you know. Okay, so here's one more for you. This is called cheese potato, and it's a potato and a wheel of cheese, and that's it. And then, is that a potato stuck in half a wheel of cheese? Yes. So there you go. Now, you might not know this, but 4chan is totally anonymous, except certain users can have a username. And there is a very infamous 4chan user who goes by Dinotendies. And Dinotendies, we got some Dinotendies fans in the crowd. Great, awesome. So Dinotendies has been banned from 4chan multiple times, but not for racism, for cooking, which I think really says something. So here's an example of a typical Dinotendies thread. So I've talked to a couple other web culture experts about Dinotendies, and what we can figure is that he has access to some kind of dilapidated house where he's cooking these things in. So this is Cheese Whiz in a bag. Like I said, people know him, so this is the Dinotendies cook-along. And he proceeds to put some Cheese Whiz. That's a coat hanger. So I don't know, still to this day, what the pumpkin spice latte mix is for, but I do find that interesting. That's a vase on top of a burner. Yeah, this is, I mean, yeah, there you go. This was the first segment for tonight's show. Isn't that interesting? So that's Spam water. That's cardboard. And there you go. That's a typical Dinotendies meal. So that's a coat hanger, melted cheese. Yeah, there you go. Here's another one for you. Same house. Raw chicken. I don't know what that is. Dog food, maybe. Eggs. Spam, eggs. Trash bag. Why is it not a trash bag? Because he's got no plates, obviously. And that's an omelet. That's a Dinotendies omelet. And this is what I was saying. This is where he eats. Yeah. So there's more. So he also has access to possums. Yeah, so in 2018, I tweeted about Dinotendies. He had been recently unbanned from 4chan. He was back on the board. He was cooking, and he appeared to be cooking from some kind of psychiatric facility. So he's in a toilet. He's making some kind of something, and then he responded to me. I didn't know he had a Twitter account, and he just posted a photo of a possum. So we kind of like were in, you know, like that kind of thing where you're liking someone's tweets, they're liking your tweets. You're like, you know, you're making connections. I was doing that with Dinotendies. And so I got to interview him recently. And I'm happy to say I have some answers. All right. The whole project is, to me, an ongoing shitpost. When I first started the threads on CK, some people thought I was doing this as some sort of weird art project for college, and I found that absolutely hilarious. It's mostly just me messing around with cooking and with a bunch of possums, and I find it really cool that so many people find this entertaining. I actually do work in a pretty upscale restaurant. And I went to school for this as well. I think most people kind of know it's not easy to make hollandaise sauce in an army helmet with a whisk made of coat hangers. That's a thread he's referencing where he tries to cook an MRE. It doesn't go well. But and I did get an answer kind of about the possums, which is that he has 3 that live on his porch. He's named them Taquito, Mochi, and Pierogi. From what I can tell, he's very nice to them. He has a good relationship. He's not hurting the possums. And sometimes they chill on his shoulders while he makes food for 4chan. So, yeah, that's it. All right. Thanks, guys.